It is 20 to 7 and ransomware attacks are becoming big business. Hackers are targeting companies around the world, effectively locking them out of their computer systems and demanding a fee to let them back in. But don't think you're out of danger, because personal computers are also a target. Technology expert Paul Spain is with us this morning. Good morning, Paul.
Hilary.
Tell us a bit about this malware.
Okay, so what's happened this time round is it seems there's been quite a focus, at least initially, on Ukraine, but then we've seen a bunch of other companies around the world hit, including a number with local presences here in New Zealand, such as Maersk Shipping Line. And when it's got into their network, this particular malware has worked to spread itself across as many systems as possible. And that's why we've seen things like Cadbury factory that's had to shut down systems. We've had global advertising group WPP, which covers some of the biggest advertising agencies in the world, who have been shutting down systems. So yeah, the impact of it is quite catastrophic in some cases.
So what does it actually do to your computer?
So it works in a similar way as some of the other things that we've seen, like WannaCry, in that it encrypts your data and basically locks down your system, so you are no longer able to really operate, and you need to then try and get that data back. But the difference here, whereas WannaCry did seem to be focused on making a lot of money from those that were hit, here that seems like a little bit of a ruse, because in fact if you pay the ransom, the email address behind it and so on is dead, so you're never going to get a response, you're never going to get the attackers to actually unlock your data.
Has anyone put a stop to it yet? I mean, it has spread worldwide. We know it's affecting things here in New Zealand. Is it still spreading?
It does seem to be, in that there isn't a kill switch in the same way we saw with WannaCry, but there are some techniques to block it, and also there's some practices that organisations should be following, and we certainly see that when you look at those organisations that have been hit this time round, it is questionable whether they really should have been hit, noting that some of the same techniques were used as WannaCry, and if their systems were current and updated and locked down and secured as they should have been, there's a reasonably high chance they could have protected themselves. So
WannaCry was only a month ago, and we were talking about that then. Now we have this hot on the heels of it. Are you saying that really big companies that haven't protected themselves have only got themselves to blame?
Certainly to a degree. Even if they bring all their systems up to date, there's always going to be new software, things we call zero-day flaws, that there isn't any complete protection mechanism to stop. But in terms of this one, it does seem that the ways in which organisations are being hit is because they haven't got their systems locked down and updated as they should have done. Yeah,
so any big business who hasn't been hit yet, this is your warning right now to get up to date.
Well, big or small business, individuals, we do need to keep our computers updated, make sure you've got really good backups, good antivirus, good mechanisms for proactively maintaining all technology systems, and you can no longer be relaxed about having those old computers sitting out the back of your business, because it only takes one computer to let it in. Once it's into your network, it can spread like wildfire.
Do we have any idea who the likely culprits are?
There certainly have been suggestions that this is maybe a state-sponsored attack, that maybe the Russians are behind this and are focusing on Ukraine. There's been a lot going on in that space for a period, so that does seem somewhat credible at this stage.
Paul Spain, thank you so much for your time this morning.